Discussions regarding the upcoming annual budget for local schools continue. City officials differ on ideas regarding potential reductions to the downtown CB district and a look at the local celebration of Maifest, the springtime cousin of a popular European tradition. I'm Brendan Fitzpatrick, and this is The Frame, Framingham News in Focus. Hello and welcome to The Frame, an initiative of Access Framingham. We start this week with the ongoing municipal budget process for the 2026 fiscal year, as discussions regarding the local school budget continued this week. Mayor Charlie Sisitsky proposed a roughly $383.2 million budget last month, with just over $183 million recommended for Framingham Public Schools. Local education officials have gotten their request down to around $184.5 million in recent weeks, though that has left a gap of around $1.5 million to bridge. FBS leaders have noted that they've been analyzing their budget line by line prior to making their final request, with an emphasis on reducing cuts to student-facing positions. During the City Council Finance Subcommittee's meeting last Thursday, May 15th, at-large City Councilor George King asked school officials to swiftly come to a solution to the gap situation, as he pointed out that the district is set to receive a $10.5 million raise, or just over 6%, through the mayor's proposal. School Superintendent Dr. Robert Tremblay retorted that their ongoing budget review has been vital, as any education position could impact students.
So it's not like your budget has been cut at all, but it's 6.5%. I have to have faith that you guys can make this work and not cut student-facing services.
The argument could be made for any position, probably in the organization. The question is, which positions, if any, does the school committee wish to reduce to close the gap?
With that school budget gap persisting, the Finance Subcommittee was unable to reach a final recommendation on the full budget last week. This week, the City Council tabled the subcommittee's recommendation to June 3rd. In the meantime, the school committee met on Wednesday, May 21st to continue their analysis. Executive Director of Finance and Operations for Framingham Public Schools, Lincoln Lynch, said that most people with impacted positions in the latest round of reductions will be offered another role, while other positions are direct layoffs.
We talk about the human factor, and I think it's real. And I think the earlier we're able to let people know, the better. You know, it's a tough situation, no doubt about it. You have tough decisions to make.
Those recent reductions to the school budget request include cuts to Early Childhood Alliance staffing, wraparound coordinators, and the instructional coaches unit, with 9 of those coaches set to be shifted to another title. School committee members did vote to retain $130,000 for the salary of a vacant equity director position, with the rest of the gap bridged through a reduction of the electric utilities budget. Lynch noted, however, that the district could be running the risk of having to address utility issues down the line. Following the unanimous approval of the new school budget request, city councilors will discuss the entire municipal budget in the coming weeks prior to a final approval. Members of the City Council and Planning Board have differed on their opinions regarding potential changes to the downtown Central Business District as they look to ensure full compliance with the MBTA Communities Act. Back in January, Mayor Sisitsky's proposal to utilize the CB district to meet the statewide law, which requires each city and town with T-Service to offer at least one multifamily by-right housing district within its zoning, was approved by state officials. Reductions to the district's borders, along with a reduction of the height limit for new buildings in the area from 6 stories down to 4, have been mulled in recent weeks as a way to gain full compliance with the zoning law. The Planning Board met last Thursday to discuss the potential changes. Member Thomas Bowie advocated for allowing as many avenues for development as possible, while Mitchell Matoran contended that the economic potential can still be great, even with a lower height limit within the district.
I worry about the refusal of building anything. And if we have the same number of households in Framingham 25 years from now that we have today, the costs of running a city 25 years from now will be significantly higher, but the denominator will be the same.
I think reducing to 4 stories addresses a lot of the concerns that the public, the members of this board, and other members of the city have about the development that's coming in.
The Planning Board eventually voted to recommend no action on the proposed CB district changes. The City Council met to discuss the topic the following Tuesday, May 20th. District 1 City Councilor Christine Long continued to support the pitched changes to ensure compliance with the MBTA Act, while Vice Chair Tracy Bryant of District 9 took issue with the idea that economic development would be hindered through any reductions.
This is about multifamily. This isn't about stopping business development. It reduces the existing district substantially so that we're not going to get 7,000 units, which I don't think anybody that I've heard from downtown or from the councilors that represent those districts is looking to densify the CB district to that extent.
It's time to put just a little bit of boundaries in place so that we can have long-term sustainable growth and building and development, not helter-skelter here today, ruining Framingham tomorrow.
The City Council, which has the ultimate authority to approve of any of these zoning measures, voted to move this matter along to a second reading. More details on the top stories we cover every week here on the show can be found on our website, www.theframe.news. We've got you covered there with written articles, full feature pieces we've completed throughout the community, and a calendar filled with upcoming local events. Subscribe to our email newsletter to ensure that you're always keeping up with Framingham News in Focus. Sticking with the Planning Board now, as the body approved of the One Howard residential plan in downtown Framingham last Thursday. For months, Framingham leaders have been in talks with One Howard LLC, a part of the Boston-based City Realty Group, to develop a 6-floor, 89-unit apartment building at Howard and Park Streets, adjacent to the local MBTA station and the Armenian Church of the Holy Translators. The blueprint for the building spans nearly 46,000 square feet, and it features 109 parking spots. During their meeting last Thursday, the Planning Board approved of a major site plan review and special permits within the CB district related to things such as stormwater management and land disturbances. Their approval was conditioned on One Howard's work alongside the city solicitor to ensure public access to throughways within the area of the building. Some notes regarding local events now. First, a pair of annual gatherings have been canceled in recent days. Downtown Framingham Inc. notified residents via social media that Springfest, which was originally set for this Saturday the 24th, has been called off. The Festa Junina celebration at St. Tarcisius Parish, originally set for June 14th, has also been canceled. Also, a reminder that this upcoming Monday, May 26th, marks Memorial Day here in the United States. With it being a federal holiday, residents are advised that federal, state, and municipal offices will be closed. That includes post offices, as the U.S. Post Office will not be delivering regular mail or packages on Monday. The Framingham Public Library's 2 branches will be closed from Saturday the 24th through Memorial Day as well. On Monday, residents are invited to take part in numerous visits across local cemeteries to honor those who were a part of the armed forces. Participants will be meeting at the Memorial Building at 8 o'clock that morning before making their way to various sites in the city and ending at Edwards Cemetery at 10 a.m. An hour later, local officials will be holding a ceremony at Nevins Hall in recognition of Memorial Day, as Medals of Liberty and Medals of Fidelity will be presented. And finally, a preview of our frame-by-frame segment for the week. Now, you're probably already familiar with the German tradition of Oktoberfest, which celebrates Bavarian heritage and culture, but are you familiar with its springtime counterpart, Maifest? Otherwise known as May Day in other parts of Europe, the festival was celebrated last weekend right here in Framingham. Jack's Abbey hosted visitors to mark the occasion with live music, drinks, and more, and we were on hand to capture the action.
The holiday has important pagan roots due to its positioning at the midpoint between the spring equinox and the summer solstice. On the pagan calendar, its opposing holiday, Halloween, celebrates death and welcomes winter, whereas May Day signifies nature's rebirth and the beginning of summer.
That full frame-by-frame segment can be found on Access Framingham's YouTube channel. We invite you to follow us on social media for additional local news coverage. Our Instagram handle is @FrameNews_, and you can search for The Frame on Facebook as well. Hit the bell icon when you subscribe to AFTV on YouTube, and you'll be notified whenever we upload new Frame episodes and additional content. Our news episodes are also posted onto Spotify. Follow us there to listen to or watch The Frame every week. That's all for this week's Framingham News in Focus. On behalf of our entire team, thanks for joining us. My name is Brendan Fitzpatrick. We'll talk to you next week. Take care.